r/felons. Throrus says. BF 48 male, got a felony passion of firearms charges his life over? My BF has a felony from when he was 18 for breaking and entering. He served his time. And for whatever reason never got the felony expunged. After his father died he inherited the guns. It's a felony to own the guns as a felon. The police found them due to a medical call where I odd, and that's how police got into the house. This is court. I'm worried this will destroy his life, being so close to him being 50. We are in the process of moving. I'm so scared for the future edit possession of firearms. Autoflower_dr says. Mandatory 5 years, probably weapons under disability, because he's a felon. Early Soup 9691 says. A competent lawyer would identify this as an illegal search/seizure and move to have anything collected during the medical call excluded from evidence. They had no probable cause to conduct a search for weapons or anything unless a crime was committed and they were investigating it. My 2 cents. The lawyer will cost you though. Always Sangra upvotes says. Well, you'll need to pay for a lawyer. It's been almost 30 years since his initial felony charge. And the guns are from his dead father? Get a damn good lawyer and he should be fine. I can't see them sending him to jail for this if he doesn't have an extensive record. He very well might, and that won't help him very much at all. Hope it all works out. Good luck. Autoflower_dr says. Get a good attorney. Felon and GUNS equals mandatory minimum sentence. Burhead says. How about staying off drugs so you can help him? Possible_initiative 8 says. The big question here is WTF, are you doing odding? It's time to grow up and cut this shit out. See where it got both of you? And don't cry to me, I have no idea. Been there, done that. Comprehensivage 9950 says. Doesn't look good to have guns in the house and drugs. Maybe this is a good sign to get some help. Sylverstica 63 says. I have been charged with felon in possession before. With a good lawyer you can get probation. That was my sentence, 5 years for possession and 5 years for pointing a firearm. All probation time. Candy Expensive 9062 says. Why would you do drugs around an ex-felon? You kinda frick ed him yourself. r/felons. Snoo_76807 says. Can I beat this case? I'll try and keep a long story short. Basically, I got roofied at a party a few months ago. I have a huge blank in my memory between when I got the drink to when I woke up 2 hours later. I woke up in the ambulance. They told me I had crashed my car and ran from the police naked. Neither them nor me know what happened to my clothes. The blood work came back inconclusive to roofies, but I had them send it back to another lab and am still waiting on the results. They're trying to charge me with eluding, reckless driving, leaving the wreck, resisting arrest, and public indecency. I've had a few conversations with lawyers and some think they can get a couple dropped, but the prosecutor doesn't want to drop the public indecency. In my state, that would make me a sex offender. My lawyer and I are considering a few defenses. Until I saw the body cam footage, I thought they were making most of it up. Sadly, they were not. Any advice? Clear_improvement_28 says. I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like your frick edition. If you had drugs in your system, it would be tough to prove you didn't take them willingly. To the cops and prosecutors it probably just sounds like an excuse or you not taking responsibility. Sounds like a shit situation. Kinga_Foresta says. That really sucks. Like the other guy said, having drugs in your system won't help you out much. Just be grateful that the bodycam footage hasn't ended up on one of those YouTube channels yet. You should reevaluate who your friends are, or stop partying with people who aren't your friends. The same thing happened to me Halloween 2020, and I definitely would have ended up in jail if I didn't have good friends with me willing to control me physically. Mobile_painting_4862 says, I'm sorry to hear that. Sadly the court systems tend to not care too much about the actual facts behind the situation. They just look at the charges and if you literally committed or not. I hope things work out. Do you have a PD or hired attorney? Paying for an attorney will do you a world of good. And even if you are convinced, I'm sure you will be able to plead down to misdemeanor probation, since these are your first charges. Good luck. Danny3XD1 says, OMG, I'm so sorry you are in this situation. I was roofied once. It's like a black hole. Best of luck. Some guy 42069 Atherlil says, did the place you were at have any cameras or reliable witnesses who could testify to your behavior before the roof is kicked in? Were you with anyone who would be a target of roofies? Would you consider yourself someone who would be targeted? I'd go with those angles, and if it was a public establishment, try and contact them to see if similar incidents have occurred before. Could be a serial rapist or just sicko who likes causing chaos. DocuWeb says, probably not, man. I was blacked out and totaled my car and definitely went down on all my charges. r/felons. Big Breadfruit 7243 says, should I just off myself? Why bother? Donald Bucknaum says, no. I've been a felon most of my adult life. College degree and been turned down for really good jobs, even after they told me I had the job pending background check. It's annoying and I'd be lying if I said I haven't given up a couple times, but I'm still out here doing it. Got electrical license and making good money. Only one electrical company turned me down cause they did residential service, but I so commercial/industrial anyway, so no big deal. Call the union hall for whatever trade you want to do and get busy. No sense in letting it get in the way. I learned a long time ago that no matter where I think I should be, I always find myself in the right place. GS_Foxrudder says, did you try turning off and back on again? Usually fixes most glitches in the system. DocuWeb says, dude, if you're at that point, take out as many loans as humanly possible and move to Ecuador or some shit. Might as well go out on a beach in South America. Independent Cloud 822 says, Portland, Oregon, the mayor forbids criminal background checks. Lots of job openings. But be careful, the city has a big drug culture, you don't want to fall into it. $7,500 sign-on bonus to be a streetcar conductor or city bus driver. Bucksmith73 says, been a felon most of my adult life and have managed to do well by the grace of God. Be honest, work hard, work for smaller companies that you can actually meet or know the owner. Hannah Brown says, yes. The world will be a better place. No_number 5540 says, what do you want to do? Why not start a business on your own? Maybe get a crappy normal job to finance yourself while you get it up and running. A lot of companies don't take a ton of expertise or capital to start. Pressure washing, lawn maintenance, auto detailing. Conscious Court 2793 says, use your negative experience as your strength. It's helped me discover who, if any, my friends and family truly are. I've learned a lot about myself and my surroundings. It's given me time to think critically. I accept a system predicated on criminalizing the most vulnerable population. I learned a plethora of information that I could not learn in any school anywhere. Now it's time to use your knowledge as your strength. Check out criminal justice reform on Reddit. There is much information on how the system is rigged and how it is a predator of the most vulnerable. r/felons. Pack_1 says. Just need to vent. Convicted of a felony almost 30 years ago. I still deal with it seemingly every day. Have made a good life for myself. Corporate contractor, well paid, haven't even gotten a parking ticket. Today I was asked if I was a felon while applying for home insurance a company is looking to hire me on, and I have to take a background check which obviously won't turn out great. Frustrated today. That said, I hope all of you struggling have the same amount of success I've been able to have in spite of everything. It's possible, just keep your head down. I should be more grateful, but some days it's tough. Princess Rita says. Once I accepted it's a lifelong scar, I felt less stress. It never ever goes away. D1 Duck 2020 says. I applied for a TWIC about 3 years ago and was approved. It's been enough time that I can pass the FBI security check to enter ports without escort. That's the same level of security as a CDL driver needs for hazmat, and also gives you the code to use when buying airline tickets to be pre-screened for security there. I used it once, and it was cool. Have to walk through airport security without being checked. I'm sure I will bump up against some restrictions someday, but thankfully haven't done so in a long time. House of Clouds says. Right at 21 years for me, although it does get better, it never goes away 100%. Lively8411 says. My goodness. Does your state have any sort of new things that have come into legislation that will let you expunge low levels to push a felony back down to a misdemeanor or anything? It is hard. I've got a loved one that has been dealing with this forever. Alarming_tradition 51 says. So real quick, I made a post the other day. I don't know if you're all ready. But I was really frustrated. And I needed to vent. But I got more time institutionalized than on the streets from being 13 years old till I was 33. Last bit I did 8.5 off 10. Got out, caught a sale in delivery within 4 months. Same. Shit I just did 10 years for, COVID. Blessed me and let me show the courts that I changed my life. You got the first job I ever had at 33 years old. I enrolled in trade school shortly after, became electrician, and been working in the same field since 2020. Nobody will rent to me. I haven't had property in my name since 2008. No evictions. I've got my credit from 0 to a 751 since 2020. Nobody will rent to me. I keep applying, paying, and failing because of the background check. I rented a room, and I'm good until December 1st. I'm either gonna be at a hotel or an Airbnb, and you know what? Instead of being mad, I'm happy because I'm free, and I'm actually able to afford living in a hotel. I'm gonna be broke as frick, but like I said in the other post, I'm gonna keep bust on my and waiting for an opportunity/blessing. Frick the chain gang. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.